The Sarlacc seen in Return of the Jedi, the one nesting in the Great Pit of Carkoon, came from space. Well, obviously everything came from space, but this Sarlacc in particular came to Tatooine from space back when the planet was covered in trees and vegetation, and not just a giant desert. It was like there was water and everything. So this almighty Sarlacc, as they call it in the movie, was very old. Most Sarlaccs eat meat and flesh, they're carnivorous, but this particular Sarlacc preferred vegetation, and much to its dismay, Jabba the Hutt and other criminals would frequently push people to their death into the Sarlacc. This Sarlacc was essentially force-fed, sentient beings. An interesting potential connection I'd like to point out is something that is mentioned in the book From a Certain Point of View, Return of the Jedi. In the book, there is a chapter told from the point of view of this almighty Sarlacc, in which the Sarlacc says in its strange language, "Thank the great progenitor." At first glance, this could be a reference to C-3PO and his saying, "Thank the maker," as in that very same dialogue, the Sarlacc is attempting communication with C-3PO. However, I find the specific mention of the great progenitor interesting because there is a great progenitor already established as a character. This being, actually called the great progenitor, is the first Drengir, a species of carnivorous plants that were very active during the era of the High Republic. These Drengir had vines for limbs and beakish faces and mouths. The similarities between the Drengir and the Sarlaccs are not immediately apparent, but I do see some threads of connection here. They share the same diet and have some similar looks, so it is possible that the Sarlaccs and all of their related species like the Rathtar, the Blixus, and the Vixus are descended from Drengir. Furthermore, according to the reference book Star Wars The Complete Visual Dictionary New Edition, biologists in the Star Wars universe hypothesize that the Sarlacc could actually be an unusual carnivorous plant rather than an animal, just like the Drengir. So, to sum up all connections, the Drengir and the Sarlacc's appearance and diet are similar in some aspects. The xenobiologists seem to think that Sarlaccs are actually just highly evolved plants, which is what the Drengir were, and the Sarlacc in the book said, "Thank the great progenitor," which was the name of the very first Drengir. So, while it's not a confirmed connection, I do think it's interesting to theorize about, and I'm seeing a lot of threads. That's all I have for this video though. Thank you so much for watching.